Hey guys, so being a digital nomad is a dream of a lot of people, and if you get to embark on that journey, it can be a fantastic time. But being a digital nomad is not always easy, particularly from the travel aspect of things, and as a result, there are a lot of things and resources that you need to make sure that your time as a digital nomad is successful. So in this video, I'm going to tell you about 5 key things you should consider spending money on as a digital nomad. So let's get right into the video. Now, why am I only going to focus on 4 things in this video? Well, because if you're considering a lifestyle as a digital nomad, then I assume that you already have some of your key items covered, such as your laptop, a headset, a hard disk, etc, etc. Because if I went on to include all these things, this video would be endless. So I instead want to focus on 4 things that are important for digital nomads, but maybe get overlooked. So that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is health insurance. Super boring, I know, but cannot be overlooked in any circumstances. Now, if you've been abroad on holiday, if you travel regularly, then I'm sure the topic of health insurance is something that you're familiar with, that you've perhaps got covered. But as a digital nomad, the reality is you may not have a permanent base. You may be constantly on the move, and therefore travel insurance from your home country may not necessarily cover you if you don't have a permanent home base. So you may have to consider alternative options for health insurance than what you would typically use if you're going abroad from, your home country, let's say, for example. Because a medical emergency abroad can not just be a nightmare from a travel perspective, but it can also be a nightmare from a financial perspective if you don't have the right cover in place, because medical bills can definitely be expensive. And besides this, private health insurance is often a requirement if you're looking to live in a country under a digital nomad visa scheme, because governments would prefer that you're insured under a private system rather than going through social security in many cases. There are quite a few health insurance providers that specialize in digital nomads, which will give you coverage across the world wherever you're traveling. Alternatively, if you're someone that is from an EU country and you're traveling within the EU, or your digital nomad residency is within the EU and you plan to travel mainly, then you can apply for the European Health Insurance Card, or the EHIC card. What the EHIC card allows you to do is essentially receive reimbursement for any medical expenses that you need to cash out whilst you're in another EU member state. So look carefully at your different health insurance options and make sure you have something appropriate for your travels. Second thing, very similar to the first one, but rather for your equipment. So having insurance for your mobile phone, for your laptop, for a camera if you own a camera, because again, things can go wrong. And particularly when it comes to equipment, if you're working in IT, or if you're a videographer or a photographer, for example, then your equipment is going to be very expensive, and the cost of replacing that equipment is going to be very, very high if you don't have insurance. So again, do look at your options for equipment insurance before you set off on your travels. Number 3, something that doesn't necessarily come to mind, but is particularly important if you're working in public spaces, is a VPN. Now, VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and it essentially acts as a tunnel around all of the data that you send and receive across a network. So it's particularly useful when you're on public networks and you need to access sensitive data or put in, your credentials or password or username. It means that your information is not visible to others on that network, because the last thing you want is your personal information or sensitive information about your business being stolen off a public Wi-Fi network or an unprotected network, and then that causes a whole load of problems for you. This actually happened to one of my friends while we were traveling. He wanted to pay his electricity bill whilst we were in a restaurant, didn't use a VPN whilst connecting to the restaurant Wi-Fi, and unfortunately his details were hacked from that network, and purchases were made on his credit card. So a VPN is an important security investment for digital nomads. In addition, beyond the security aspects, if you want to watch your favorite show back from home, but you can't access it in the country you're in, or if you need to access a website that isn't available in the country you're in, then you can change the location on your VPN, because in doing so, you're assigning yourself an IP address which is local to another country, and it allows you to see the content that you want to see. If you're looking for a good VPN service, I use NordVPN. I've used them for about 3 or 4 years, and I've been very happy with the service. NordVPN has a really interesting offer on at the moment as well, where on a 1-year plan, they'll give you 56% off with 3 additional months, And on a 2-year plan, they'll give you 63% off and 3 additional months. And this offer runs from the 21st of March up until the 13th of June. So if you're interested in signing up to NordVPN, you can check out my affiliate link in the video description to sign up. Number 4 is access to multi-currency banking solutions. Now, as a digital nomad, you will be living in another country, perhaps with a different currency from your home country, but you may still be getting paid in another currency depending on where your clients are. For example, you may be living in Australia, but you have clients in the US, the UK, the EU, so you can see there's a whole range of currencies at play there. So if this is you, then you should certainly consider setting up some kind of multi-currency banking service. Now, 2 of the best on the market are Wise and Revolut. Both offer both business and personal banking solutions where you can bank in multiple currencies and you have a debit card where you can access your money, spend in local currency and withdraw in local currency abroad as well. I've made a video where I've talked about how these both work in practice, and I will make a video very shortly comparing the 2 in more detail. But in the meantime, if you're interested in signing up to either of those services, again, I'll leave my links in the video description so you can go and check them out. And last but not least, a portable connectivity solution. So if you're living in the EU, then of course you can move between countries and you can roam like you're at home essentially. You know, you can use your mobile plan from your home country in another EU country at no additional cost essentially. However, a lot of times that's not the case. You know, you're traveling to Asia, to Latin America, to North America, where tariffs are simply higher and you can't just pull out your phone and send a quick message or check Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever, because doing so would cost you a fortune. And the reality is you might not be in a place long enough for it to be worth you buying a local SIM card as well. But did you know there are services out there that offer package deals where you can roam in multiple destinations and you can buy data packages, you can buy minutes and bundles that will allow you to roam at local rates. Services like Travel Wi-Fi and UBG offer you bundles for different regions of the world at local prices, which are cost-effective solutions when you're just staying at a place for a few days or you're traveling around a region and you don't want to necessarily buy a local SIM card. So really good if you need to, you know, set up your laptop somewhere, do some work, or you need to send some emails, stay in touch with people, and you can't necessarily wait for Wi-Fi, or, you know, if the Wi-Fi is not particularly good in your hotel or wherever you're staying, then such solutions can really come in handy. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found these suggestions helpful. Leave a comment and let me know, is there anything else you would add to this list? Till next time, I'll see you on the next one, and let's get this money.